feeling this. Just wanna keep 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 feeling this. Just wanna Hello there, Fagwent. Welcome aboard. We're going to be mucking about with some VR today with Love VR, and we're going to try and make a modeling tool. It's going to be super simple at first, but I played around with Google Blocks, and that was a lot of fun, except it's kind of laggy, and it's kind of hard to get my data out because it has to go through Google and stuff. So I want to make something a bit more easy to use that could just output OBJ files for me. Also, if you don't mind telling me how the audio sounds between the music and my voice, if you have a minute for that, that would be awesome. Thank you very much. Anyway, so what we have here, this is just a simple shader that we're going to be using for this. This is basically what I was hacking with yesterday. We're not going to use most of this because this is all just like this sort of weird physics thing that we can have a look at right now if you want. It's just sort of a weird sort of physics simulation thing, but we're not going to be using that now, so we're going to kill that for now and get to working on the thingamajig. Oh, my brain is mush. Let's do it. Okay. So, don't need the world, don't need the boxes, let's get rid of those. Oh, this update function is messed up. Okay, that's just that. But we don't need any of this either, so we're going to lose that. Yeah, this is a physics thing, so we don't need that. We are going to keep draw controller because that was kind of useful. It lets me see where my hands are in VR. So we're going to keep that. Set a background color, that's nice. Set the shader, yeah, we need to do that. We're not drawing the boxes. We are going to draw the controllers though, and then we can get rid of that because that was for the floor in VR again, so we don't need that either. So this should, if everything goes well. Hey Cosmo, what's going on? If this all goes well, I should just have my two hands visible in VR. Oh, That's one hand. Oh yeah, I got too cute for this. There was a reason for this. This was yesterday. But yes, I only need the one hand because with two hands, what can you see? Yep. With two hands, it's kind of like weird. But yeah, so I'm gonna keep the top boxes and get rid of the bottom boxes. Yes, let's do that. Always had the glue. So tell me, will you still be? Tell me, will you still be my exception to the rule? Tell me, will you still be my exception to the rule? Okay, so I downloaded a bunch of libraries for maths, because maths are complicated sometimes. I'll turn the sound down, I think it might be a bit loud. That might be better for you. So yeah, I got a CPML, which is a a maths library for 3D maths. I got this from here, 3D math library. I also picked up Loviar grid. I think I'm just going to display a grid on the floor. Might be useful so that I can sort of give an impression of scale. Probably won't need that. And I also grabbed Loom, which is just a bunch of utility functions with simple maths in it. So we're going to use a bit of those. I'm going to go ahead and add these to the chat so that you can actually see that. Oh, you can. Yeah, you can see when I click on it, but we're going to need to see that. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and remove the scaling of the Chrome window because that isn't very useful for you. Sorry, I'm still trying to figure out a lot of this stuff. So sometimes... Oh, come on. Where is it? Filters, there it is. Left, 0, 0, 0, yeah. And then top, we just want to get rid of the banner, really. 30, 40, 60, 70. Yeah, okay. So that way you can see my my browser window when I'm editing stuff. I'm going to go ahead and make this proper size again. I should do this stuff before we get in. Actually, I can probably move this around as well. Yeah, let's do that. Put the chat down there when I'm browsing. Oh, that sucks. Figuring stuff out. So, oh yeah. Okay, so I added some rules, so when I'm in a GitHub page, oh, it actually needs to be GitHub with a capital G and a capital H. So normally when I'm in a GitHub page or one of these pages, you should get the browser I'm looking at. So Loviar grid, that's one of the things I grabbed. Loom is another one, has some useful functions in it. And then CPML. And this is going to be super useful because we're going to be messing around with meshes. So we're going to look at that, and we're going to go ahead and figure out if we can, with graphics, like just draw a mesh directly. I guess it would be triangles. I hope I don't have to push a whole bunch of triangles separately. I hope I can push that all as one thing. Oh, there is new mesh. I guess the problem with that is that new mesh will so the problem with the new mesh is it's going to create a new mesh, so I'm going to have to like create a new one each frame or each time I edit the mesh, which might be a bit of a mess. Let's have a look at what CPML does. Oh, it just calls it mesh utilities. Are you serious? Is that it? This is not a very useful documentation, is it? It's just telling me there's a thing called mesh. Oh god. Let's have a look inside here, see if we have more. Mesh average, mesh normal, mesh plane from triangle. Alright. It's kind of basic actually, there's not much in there. Vector 3 is going to be a proper vector 3 function, right? Yeah. All the good stuff. Nice. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and add these. You know what I should do? Fuck it, I'll do it. I'll do it tonight when you're not watching because that's not interesting to watch. So I'm going to want to load CPML. CPML has been made properly. It has a file called init.lua here. So I just need to do a that should work. Does this return something? This returns modules at the end, right? Yeah, it returns CPML. So we catch that with that. So now we have CPML. The problem is with Luvia, it's a main.lua, so we need to change the name of this. Call it init.lua. And then loom as well, same thing. Oh, actually, that might work. We can test it real quick. So CPML. Grid, and what we can do for that, we can actually load that into Luvia grid. That way we can start kind of pretend that there's a thing called grid inside Luvia. Actually, if it comes to think of it, let's see how that's made. The grid. Grid new, okay. Yeah, well, let's do that, Luvia grid. Kind of silly, but it's monkey patching stuff. And then the same thing for loom. Loom equals require loom. And I think this one should work properly because it's called loom inside of loom. We'll figure that out real quick. Oh, there you go. Oh, it couldn't find modules color utils. CPML model colors. Yeah, there is no modules colors utils. Oh, it's going to be one of these. So modules isn't requesting properly. I'm getting this error here. I've got it in the terminal here. Okay, this is going to be annoying. So that's working, but in here it's trying to find that because it's looking for CPML modules / color / utils. Let's cheat. Go like yeah, so no, utils is the one that bugs. So we're just going to do that to each one of these, which is kind of a bit of a pain in the bottom, but we're going to do it anyway. Oh, I need to save them too. Control save, close it. Control save, close it. Mesh. Pick one of these, Control save, close it. Octree. Quant. Simplex doesn't. Wow, this is magic numbers. Oh my god. Anyway, that one apparently doesn't use modules. Utils does. Vec2 does as well. Oh, crap. And Vec3 does not use modules. Okay, so if I save that, cannot change protected meta table. So Quant Lua on line 452 is trying to change protected meta table. Why is setting stuff up so hard sometimes? Four, 5, 2. Let's just comment that out. Probably don't need that. Same fucking bullshit. Oh, this is going to be a pain. Come on, I was hoping I wouldn't have to do this kind of bullshit. Okay, so we fixed all the bugs with CPML. Now let's move on to Loom. So was it Loom? No, Leviar Grid. Leviar Grid. Module grid not found. init is a okay. So we're going to rename that main. Sorry, and grid is going to be called init. There is one though. What? Did we rename this? No. And so this one needs to be called init as well. Okay, but back to where we were. Except now it works. Oh dear. Okay, so we're going to start mucking about with a mesh. I think our best option is to work with, I mean, we can work with a mesh. Let's set this down a bit for the relaxing times. Let's give ourselves a bit more music. Let's do some. Let's go ahead and listen to EP0. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna get the follow-up LP0. I'm gonna listen to LP0 for the first time. So this is what we're gonna be listening to. I haven't actually got the album yet, so real quick, I'm just gonna buy that. So this is LP0 we're going to be listening to by Eloguro, and it's a really nice album inspired by sort of video gamey kind of landscapes. It's not chiptune or anything, but it kind of has that sort of feel you get from old video games where you're sort of like as if you played like some old Zelda or something, which makes it really, really nice. So let's go back to that and listen to LP0 by Eloguro. Yeah, definitely check it out. And here it is. Okay. So, yeah, so we're making a modeling tool, so a modeling editor. So what we want is going to be, let's just edit points for now. And I'm just going to go ahead and sort of do a thing where I can just place, like pull the trigger and place points in space. I think that's going to be like the first step. And then we can have a thing that allows us to place, like connect points to make faces, connect faces to make a mesh. Let's do that. Points in space. So we're back here with our main.lua, and I'm going to go ahead and create a points array. Which is going to be empty to start off with. And here in the controller thing, what I'm going to do, let's have a look at how controllers work. Oh, there's a controller pressed, that's perfect. Controller button. So we're going to go ahead and take that. Just go ahead and add this down here. And you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and create an actual like display inside the game. I know we can do that quite easily. So this is just gonna be like txt. Just gonna be a text output. And in here we're gonna do a level graphics set color 000. Print that in black. Lever graphics print txt, and the location of that txt is going to be 0. Okay, 0 on that axis. Let's put it like 2 meters in the air and 2 meters or a meter that way. So it's going to be outside of my space. And so this, instead of doing that, is going to do txt equals txt concatenated with a new line, and that how do I backspace? I forget. There we go. So let's try that out. Oh, I am. Oh, that's exciting. So this is my text output then, which is kind of, oh god, this got some kind of glitchy kind of aesthetic to it. I kind of like the glitchy aesthetic, but that's not what we want. Oh, okay. I need to clear the shader. So yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So that works. It's pointed the wrong way, and it's way too close to me. So basically, I want to make this smaller, further that way, and turn around the other way around. Cool. So further that way is this. So let's put it like 3 meters over there. And then for smaller, let's go ahead and look at the good thing. So, oh, scale, it's right here. So let's just make that kind of 1.25, like a quarter of the size. And that should be cool. Yes, good, nice. Oh, and turn the other way. I mean, I can kind of read backwards, but it's not great. So angle, and oh yeah, and if you don't specify an angle, it's always around the vertical axis. LoveVR uses wires up, so we just want that. What is it in radians? Math pi times 2. So let's test buttons. Yeah, I'm a bit of a dummy, so let's do that one again. Math pi times, oh, I hate this thing. Okay, math pi times nothing. Let me do the thing that I want to do. So for some reason, the virtual desktop thing, as soon as I press this button, so when I press this, it catches on, which is kind of annoying. I don't know how to let go after that. Like, I can open this. Is it because it's like a left hand, right hand thing? Like one hand is meant for clicking and the other hand is meant for like doing some other stuff? Oh, right, now it's grabbed with the other hand. Come on. Well, that's exciting. I mean, completely useless, but exciting. Let's just see if this works anyway. Okay, that works. It doesn't because it got rid of the parentheses. Oh, for fuck's sake. One day, there will be a good tool for doing stuff in VR. But today is not that day. I can actually use the terminal though in VR, which is kind of nice. So I can use the terminal, but not the text editor. There we go. So, I didn't save. Fuck it. Fuck it. Fuck it. Control S. Tab. Open this. I really need to find some kind of way to make sort of VR work. Trigger button was pressed, so okay, so I have different buttons now. I have the menu button, I have the grip button, that's just touchpad, doesn't matter where I press on the touchpad, it's just going to be touchpad. If I press that, it does not register as a button. However, this is also the same stuff, so I don't really know which hand is being used with this bit. It is getting a reference to the controller, as we can see here. It is getting a reference to the controller, so that's going to have some information in it. Hopefully there's like a left hand, right hand thing in there that I can use, and if there isn't, I need to find some kind of way to get that information. Also, these are almost out of juice, I need to plug these in. So, controller. What information do we have on the controller? So that's going to be in there's absolutely every single thing in there. So, controller pressed, controller, get access, get orientation, get position, get pose. Oh, it's the position and the orientation. Okay, that's nice. How does that return? Oh, that's nice. Okay. Is down, so figure out if the thing is just touched. What's the difference between just down and touched? I don't know what the difference between down and touched is going to be. It's present get hand, so we get the name, we get the hand, and controller hand is going to be text left or right. Okay, so if we do need the handedness of the controller, we can do that. For the moment though, what we're going to do is we're going to create a new point at the position that the click happened on if it's a trigger. And we had triggers, trigger was the thing, so what we can do is go points. Okay, actually, then we're going to do like a local X, Y, and Z equals controller get position, and then points. Oh, table insert is going to go table insert points and a new object which is going to have x equals x, y equals y, z equals z. And then we need a function draw point, and this is a point thing in here already. Love graphics points. We can actually literally just draw points. A table of points is described above. Oh, that's nice. So we can literally instead of that we just go x, y, z. We can literally just dump that here. So we're going to draw them in, let's say, magenta. Lever graphics. Okay, sorry. For point in points, do lever graphics points of point. Yeah, that should work. Let's see if it does. Where's my hand? That's exciting. Let's do that again. Very exciting indeed. The controller's down the bottom there. Oh, okay, it's working now. So trigger button was pressed, so it does work. The code tells me that it should have inserted a point, and this should be doing that, but it doesn't seem to be doing much. So we're going to go ahead and check what that's doing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to leave one of these plugged in, and when this one dies, I'll switch them around. We don't need both hands for now, so hopefully one controller is enough. And I think there's a problem when like picking it up, so I'm just going to go ahead and turn this controller off now. So it's going to be here and turn off controller. So this controller is off. Plug that in. Okay. And this one works for now. It's going to be out of battery though soon. So this is apparently not doing much. So we're just going to go ahead and print point 1, 2, and 3. Lua indexes from 1. That's just how that works in Lua. So just go ahead and just print these to the terminal to make sure that that's working the way I want it to. It's not, is it? There's something wrong with this. I think, is it because it's almost out of battery? Because it's picking it up in here, right? Like, you can see that. Chat, right? Yeah. You can see that the controller's working. Oh, my desktop view just crashed. But I'm getting some weird crashes right now. Let's go ahead and just like add some text here at the beginning. So something like loaded. Oh, you know what? Actually, this should be an array of text, and that way I can get rid of the fuck it, loaded. So that is doing a thing, but it's not drawing my hands. Maybe it has something to do with the shaders I'm using. This is not working. I've just got this loaded view, that's all I got. That sucks. But as you can see in this view, there is a controller, right? It's being visible. If you look down the bottom there, and this hand, look down here, this view here, the view you can see here, there's a controller there, and it is tracking correctly. So why? Oh my god. Okay. Is it if one of the controllers is recharging? Okay, there's a controller there. So anyway. Okay. So the terminal, as you can see, just printed a bunch of points, all of these points here, and the reason it did that is because of this. So it is getting points data. For some reason this isn't working though. So we're just going to go ahead and do that manually for now. Let's go ahead and set a darker background. And make the text bright instead. That way we can see these magenta points against the background easier. Yeah, okay, so the button is working. It is creating the points because we're getting them in the terminal printout. But this lover graphics points isn't printing anything for us. So let's go ahead and check the documentation. Love graphics points draws points. Should we draw a sphere instead? I'm just going to draw a sphere instead, just to see if there's something wrong with points. Maybe there's something wrong with the coordinates. There shouldn't be. Yeah, Yeah, these are roughly the coordinates we wanted. Oh, it is drawing those. Okay, that's a really big sphere. Okay, so there's just something wrong with the way... something wrong with the way sphere, points are drawn. So let's just make these very small objects. 0.01, that should be huge, actually. I mean, it's tiny now, but... There we go. So I can draw points. That's nice. Okay, so I'm going to try and make this into something a bit more reasonable, because that's not a very useful object. And I'm also going to turn this into a proper log instead of just like go on forever. So just like show the 10 last lines. So to log a string, we're gonna remove the top line and add a new one at the bottom. So it's gonna be txt table remove txt1 table insert txt str. Coolio. So this, instead of doing that, is going to go log the button was pressed. We're also going to do a little log loaded when we're done loading. And then here, instead of just doing graphics print txt, we need to do a for line in. Actually, we do need I, don't we? So we're going to need to log them downwards. In I pairs txt, do one of these. Yes, hello. Cool. Line. Let's make it a bit higher, 2.5, and then minus I times 0. Oh, so these are going to be 0.25 high, so 0.3. So let's see what that looks like. There's loaded down there, and if I go tick, 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 tick. There we go. Is that 10 lines? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, that's 10 lines. Okay, so yeah, so I've got... I got these buttons, that's nice. Oh. Cool, cool, cool. So, the next step is to draw one of these. I wonder if I could just grab a model that already exists. I wonder if that's a good idea. Or if I should just draw the thing. I should probably just draw the thing. Yep. Okay. Um, although first, I'm going to take a bathroom break. See you in a minute, actually. See you real quick. Is there something cool I can have going on in the meantime? I don't know. I'll just be right back. Be right back in a minute. Non, j'ai pas de SMS. Ouais, j'ai pas d'info de sa part. Ouais. Je suis en train de streamer, si tu rentres dans la chambre, t'es sur caméra. Hein.
T'as des...
Ouais, non, dis-moi.
T'as des amis pour regarder sur T'as du 5 volts, tout ça.
Actuellement, non. J'en ai commandé un. Parce qu'en fait, genre, la ligne qui est là, ça fait du 24 volts. Mais j'ai recommandé un autre truc de LED. Et le truc de LED que j'ai commandé, il prend du 5 volts.